I'm tired of pretending anyone knows what's going on. I'm tired of the performances, the hollow confidence, the scripted certainty people drape themselves in just to get through the day. Every conversation, every social interaction, every belief system, every ritual, every tradition, it's all this desperate attempt to mask the one thing we refuse to say out loud. None of us knows anything. Not really. We don't know where we came from. We don't know why we're here. And we have no clue where we're going. Every religion, every philosophy, every scientific theory is a guess, a story, a coping mechanism crafted by terrified primates, clinging to whatever narrative makes the unbearable fact of their own mortality slightly more tolerable. And I've had enough of it. Enough of people pretending their chosen explanation has any more authority than anyone else's. Enough of the smug certainty of the faithful, the detached arrogance of the rationalists, the empty optimism of the self-help preachers. Every last one of them is lying to themselves, because the alternative is too horrific to face, that we are here by accident or for no reason at all, that our lives are brief flickers of awareness, bookended by eternal nothingness, and that all the meaning we assign to our existence is fabricated to avoid screaming into the void. Look around, look at the world, the wars, the cruelty, the pointless suffering, the endless consumption, the artificial connections masquerading as relationships, the empty rituals of work, entertainment, politics, and ceremony. Does this look like the product of a species that knows what it's doing? We're making it up as we go along. We have no map, no instructions, no agreed-upon purpose beyond survival and the fleeting high of distraction. And yet, everyday people walk around like they've got it figured out, like their opinions matter in the face of cosmic indifference, like any of this is going somewhere. The arrogance is suffocating. We name our countries, our gods, our ideologies, and then murder each other over them like deranged children, fighting over imaginary territories in a sandbox none of us owns. We invent currencies, economies, social hierarchies, and then pretend they're natural laws, immutable and righteous. We assign value to pixels on a screen, to numbers in a bank account, to followers on a platform, and then measure our worth by them, as if those constructs will follow us into the dirt. Everything is theater, everything is pretense, and the longer you stare at it, the more absurd it becomes. What I do know, the one certainty nobody can escape, no matter how elaborate their denial is, that we all die, every single one of us, and yet we refuse to deal with it honestly. We shove death to the edges of our awareness, lock it away in hospitals, funeral homes, and cemeteries, hide it behind euphemisms and religious fairy tales, pretending it's something that happens to other people. We flood our lives with noise and light and spectacle, so we never have to sit with the unbearable silence of our own finite existence. We invent gods and afterlives and reincarnations, because the thought of ceasing to exist, of our consciousness dissolving into nothing, is too much for the average mind to bear, and those who dare to confront it openly are labeled morbid, nihilistic, or broken, as if recognizing the inescapable truth of mortality is some character flaw instead of the clearest-eyed perspective a person can hold. We distract ourselves with shallow pleasures, petty dramas, the illusion of progress, always chasing some future milestone, the next promotion, the next relationship, the next vacation, because if we stop moving, if we sit still long enough, we might hear the quiet reminder that it's all temporary, that we're all decaying collections of cells pretending to be individuals, and that, in a century, every name we know will be forgotten, every memory erased, every dream unfulfilled. And it isn't just death we avoid, it's the terror of insignificance, the unbearable thought that our lives don't matter in any grand or lasting way, that no matter how many monuments we build, how many books we write, how many children we bear, the universe remains indifferent. Suns explode, galaxies collapse, civilizations rise and fall and vanish, without a trace. The cosmic scale of time makes a mockery of human ambition, and yet we persist in pretending that our tiny, temporary dramas are somehow meaningful, that the petty rivalries and fleeting loves and manufactured identities we cling to have weight. Beyond the brief, flickering moment, we're conscious enough to perceive them. It's tragic, and it's absurd, and I can't keep playing along like it isn't. I don't know where we came from. Neither do you. Neither does your priest, your scientist, your favorite philosopher or guru. We don't know if the universe had a beginning, if it always existed, or if it's one of an infinite number of failed experiments in some unfathomable multiversal sprawl. We don't know what consciousness is, why it emerged, or if it matters. We assign stories to it: God's breath, a biochemical accident, a property of complex systems. But they're all stories. None of them bring us any closer to understanding why we're capable of suffering, or joy, or nostalgia for things we've never even experienced. We don't know what happens after death. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's something so alien to our concept of experience that even speculating is pointless. And anyone who claims to know otherwise is lying to you or to themselves. I don't know where we're going. Technological progress is a joke, a shiny distraction that doesn't address the fundamental emptiness of human life. We build smarter machines, faster networks, more addictive content, and what does it solve? Depression rates climb, loneliness intensifies, attention spans wither, wars rage on, empathy dies in the noise. We trade real experiences for simulations, authentic connection for metrics, meaning for dopamine hits. We aren't evolving, we're spiraling, faster and faster, mistaking momentum for direction. And every once in a while, someone will look up, realize how empty it all is, and either end their life or retreat into some cult, religion, or ideology to soothe the existential wound. We are a species in free fall, pretending we're flying, and through it all, nobody admits it out loud. Nobody says the words, we're all going to die, and we don't know why we were born, and we don't know what's coming next, and everything else is a desperate, terrified distraction. The rituals, the celebrations, the careers, the art, the politics, the identities, all invented to keep us moving, to drown out the silence of space and the finality of death. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of watching people pretend there's a grand plan, that history is arcing toward justice, that progress is inevitable, that love conquers all, that death is just a doorway, that their lives have cosmic significance. None of it is true. None of it has ever been true. It's theater for the damned, and the sooner we admit it, the sooner we can stop lying to ourselves about what this really is: a brief, inexplicable burst of awareness in a universe that doesn't know or care that we exist. I'm not offering hope. I'm not wrapping this up with some motivational platitude about making the most of your time or finding beauty in the small things. I'm not going to tell you to be kind, to love deeply, to leave a mark, to find your purpose, because those are just more lines in the script we've all been taught to recite. The truth is, nobody knows what this is, nobody knows what it means, and nobody's coming to explain it. We are alone in a vast, cold, indifferent cosmos, trapped in bodies we didn't ask for, shackled to instincts we barely understand, surrounded by other frightened, confused primates, pretending they've got it figured out, and one by one we'll die, some of us sooner than others, some in agony, some in sleep, some forgotten, some mourned for a little while, but the ending's the same. It always was, and all your achievements, your regrets, your loves and hates and fears and triumphs will vanish with you, swallowed by time like everything else that ever lived. And maybe that's the real reason nobody talks about it, because once you really let that sink in, once you stop running from it, you realize how pointless everything else is. And if you're not careful, you'll laugh, or you'll scream, or you'll go silent and never speak again.